Hey guys, good morning. This is Diary of a Coach, episode 294. Diary of a Coach, episode 294. It's a beautiful Monday morning. It's a loving day, and this is the first time I'm using the hands free or the earpiece. I think I'm liking it. How are you? How's your weekend? So this morning, as many of you may know, is a sober morning. We lost one of the greatest guys on the basketball pitch and beyond basketball, a family man, a kind philanthropist, a liberal giver, a motivation and inspiration to most people, young people. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, and your daughter Gigi, and the pilot and every other person who crashed in the helicopter. We wish you rest in peace. This is Diary of a Coach. Today is Monday and the episode is 294. We are gradually inching to 300 episodes of Diary of a Coach. Have you subscribed to my YouTube channel? Have you subscribed to my YouTube channel yet? The channel is on fire. I've been getting commendable responses, comments, inspiring comments on the YouTube channel. I'm really, really inspired. Thank you so very much for your comments, for your following, and everything. Today's diary is titled From Surplus to Lack. From Surplus to Lack. This conversation was inspired in my office yesterday when I was a guest, I was a host. I was hosting Mama Do Yum Nchaga Tsafsa. She was in my office, accompanying her kids who came for the soccer under 30. And we got talking and gisting. And, she was chronicling her experience in life and how her upbringing up into her marital experiences and all the who's and the highs and the plus and the minuses and the blues and the reds, everything. And as she was talking, it was like a light bulb. Like, whoa, okay. Under ACE, adverse childhood experience, we normally say one of the elements of ACE is when a child suffers lack. One of the elements of ACE is when a child is afraid of lack of food or lack of clothing or lack of comfort or lack of, love and lack of this and lack of that and lack of that. And it just occurred to me that there's a flip side to it. The flip side to it is, what if you were born in abundance? You grew up in surplus. All you've known all your life is plentifulness and abundance and plenty and all that. And then by virtue of God knows what, suddenly everything is gone. I remember a particular experience that was shared in class, in mental health class, and I think it was Do Yum who still shared this experience of a particular acquaintance she's known all her life, whom the family grew up. They were flying first class to the UK and everything looked so rosy and blossoming and plenty. And then, boom, suddenly, parents died at the same time. And then, kids who were always flying first class and living in luxuries, suddenly, they had to be taking keke and trekking and finding means to transport themselves. They were just suddenly in the other side. It can be traumatizing. It can be traumatizing when all you've known all your life is comfort. All you've known all your life is abundance. All you've known all your life is, in fact, a friend of mine once told me she does not know what it means like to be afraid of not having accommodation. She says when she hears people say, I'm saving for my house rent, I don't want to lose my house, I don't want to lose my accommodation, I need to raise money to pay house rent. She's wondering, how is that possible? Like, to her, it is, she says she can't relate with trying to pay house rent. she can't relate with not having a house, because almost every city she's lived in this country, her parents have a house. And so she can't relate with someone not having a house. So imagine that kind of a person, by some stroke of God knows what, suddenly loses her parents and loses access to this wealth. And then suddenly you have to squat somewhere, or have to beg to eat, or you have to find a way to just scavenge, to just make life go in day after the other. It can be unbelievable. It can be unbelievable. So when I had that light bulb moment yesterday, I said I was going to talk about it. And I feel that there are some things we should talk about with respect to this. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My parents did not have so much money, as it were. However, I can't remember lacking anything, really. So as at the time I was 6-7 years old, my dad got a job with Ashaka Cement that paid him like 3 times his salaries. And so it was like a jump. Everything suddenly changed, and it looked like we just became premium family from the blues. And ever since, it just kept ascending that way until my parents retired from service. So up until the time I was a core member on NYSC, I pretty much, because I'm not so demanding, my parents didn't need to really stress around about me. But anything I wanted, I could have had if I was demanding, because my siblings were a little bit more pressing than I am. I am generally just mind my business kind of a person. My siblings got away with everything they asked for, because whatever they asked for, they got. Money, comfort, hostel. I remember my siblings specifically asked for a kind of residential accommodation, and they got it. So it was more like they were living large. I was just mind my business, sort myself out kind of thing. But when I think in retrospect, anything I wanted, I could have had it, because they didn't lack. They didn't have any problem providing what we wanted. So you cannot imagine, that for so many people who have lived in this kind of belief system, that anything I want, my parents can provide it. Anything I need is already given. It's a given that I will get it. And then suddenly, by the design of God, your parents are out, and you are probably still a minor. Or even if you're not a minor, all those resources you had access to, suddenly you don't have access to them. And then you have to now start patching and begging and patching and begging. It's a very traumatizing thing. So I want to advise, my first counsel goes to parents. Dear parents, if God has blessed you with abundance, teach your children the possibility of the absence of it. This is my direct advice. Dear parents, if God has blessed you with the abundance of earth, give your children the training that makes them see that this abundance can be a cycle. Life is a cycle. There is a time when we're in plenty. There is a time when we're in lack. Like Apostle Paul will say, I have trained myself to understand abundance and to understand lack, so I can abase and I can abound. It's a very good training. So dear parents, if God has blessed you with the resources and wealth of earth, train your children to understand the possibilities of the absence of wealth, which means they should let life go through them as they go through life. Let life go through your children. Allow them do chores. Allow them do tasks. Allow them see the possibilities of working. That is why I celebrate people like Barack Obama, whom, despite being the 44th president of the United States, allowed his daughter to intern and to work in places that mattered. When we left Ashaka Cement, my parents used to say, people used to come to them and say, thank you, Mrs. Obafemi. I'm happy that your children are working. I'm happy that your children are doing labor. Because I remember telling you on diary that when I came home for vacation those days, holidays, my siblings and I, we would go to the farm, the company's farm. We would go and cut grasses. We would cut the grass. We would serve. We would tend animals. We would pack grasses and burn. we will arrange stones, we will paint stones. The colleagues of my parents used to wonder, some colleagues used to say, why is Mr. and Mrs. Obafemi, why are they doing this to these children? What are they trying to prove? Why are they embarrassing themselves like this? Why are they making their children do menial work? It's embarrassing. But some parents told my parents, thank you. Thank you for these things you're allowing your children to do. Because to some parents were like, your parents are doing well. My parents were senior people in the hierarchy of things in the office. So the fact that senior people in the organization allowed their children to be roaming the streets, cutting grass, arranging stones, it was like, why would Mr. Obafemi do this? It was this very humiliating. But some parents saw it like, no, thank God. So we will wake up 5 a.m., go to the farm, cut grass, arrange stones, paint, burn the grasses. It used to be very tasking, with blisters in our palms. And then we'll be paid, I think we're paid 2,000 naira every 2 weeks or 4,000 naira every 2 weeks. I can't remember vividly right now. But hey, it turned out to be of great benefit. So we'll go to a city. When I was posted to Lagos to serve, I did not have any problem acclimatizing. Anyway, I'm not even a silver spoon person. So anyhow, not to rough them. But the thing is, parents who are wealthy should allow their kids go through some level of training that teaches them to abase and to abound. It's a very critical lesson to learn. Number 2, let your children have access to people who are struggling so that they can empathize with them. Empathy has a return on investment, because when you empathize with people, you receive empathy when you need it. That is exactly why Princess Diana of late, may God rest her soul, that was one major asset she invested in her sons, which the second boy, Harry, has demonstrated convincingly, unarguably. He has embraced that philosophy, which it looks like he's taking it to the extreme self, to the extent of stepping down from royalty. But that was what she tried to do, exposed them to menial and base life. She exposed them to people and situations and systems where there was nothing. So they were able to empathize and show love, and that way they are able to recognize that there is a possibility of lack. And then when I see it, I would not think that those people have a problem. I see it as an opportunity. We have a privilege that we have. So when you are in abundance, try and associate with people who are in lack, because it helps you build empathy. And for parents, teach your children to abase and to abound. Intentionally withdraw privileges. Intentionally withdraw some incentives, not because you're trying to punish them, not because you're trying to make them suffer, not because you're trying to prove any point. You're just trying to help them understand that, well, in this life, in one fell swoop, if it's in the design of God, you can move from the palace straight into the field. And the same fell swoop, you can move from the field straight into the palace. And these are the things that we should be able to educate our children in. One of the aspects we found in mental health first aid is that mental health vulnerabilities are directly proportional to lack of resilience and grit. That is something that we have found out. We have found a correlation between mental health vulnerabilities and lack of grit and resilience. So it means that when you teach your children resilience and grit, they have the tendency to withstand life and not break down. So when you find someone breaking down easily to life's issues and life's traumas, there is a likelihood that they've not learned resilience, they've not learned grit enough for them to be able to withstand life. So they need to develop that capacity. And when is the best time than teaching the children? So intentionally train your children to understand resilience, grit, lack, a base life, moderation. Moderation is very, very important. Moderation is very important. So these are the realities that I would like us to pay attention to. So number 1, train your children to understand a base life. Number 2, expose them to base life so they can develop empathy. And number 3, develop the consciousness that it is grace working for you. People work hard though. In fact, the truth of the matter is that if hard work was the determinant or the precursor to wealth, many people will be wealthy. And yeah, I know you say, well, I was just smart. I understood investment. I understood it. I understood that. That is very true. But guess what? There are people who were smart, who were strategic, who were calculative, who were this and that, but still it didn't work. So sometimes we need to understand that there is a hand of God in the way we have emerged as wealthy people, and we should communicate that to the children, communicate that to ourselves. Even we should carry that consciousness so that way, if in the course of life we find ourselves, which is an unlikely case, which is not a palatable experience, you find yourself in a place of lack, you can understand that there is a finger of God at work and you would bounce back. One last thing I should say is that wealth and lack are cycles. There's always a cycle of you emerge wealthy and come down, and emerge wealthy and come down. It's a cycle. It's an undulating wave. So there is a time to be in plenty, and when you're in plenty, invest. And there will be time when you will be in lack. When you're in lack, reduce your expenses. That's just the logic. It takes us back to the land of Egypt, where Joseph was revealed a dream. Pharaoh had a dream, and Joseph interpreted it and said, there will be 7 years of abundance, plentifulness, but there will be 7 years of immense leanness, like mad lack, mad scarcity, hunger in the land. And God gave Joseph the wisdom to help Egypt save up. They saved massively, to the extent that other nations came and were taken from Egypt, and they were able to sustain the 7 years of intense famine. So what this tells you is that there is a cycle in life. There is a time when things are falling in place massively. You are like, wow, what have I done to benefit and enjoy this kind of grace? There will be a time when things will be so bad that you'll be wondering, who did I offend? Have the village people finally caught up with me? And then you need to understand the wisdom that when things are falling in place and things are looking so rosy, save and invest, which is a very hard thing to do. I can confess. It can be very tough to save and invest in the kind of economy and the kind of bills and the kind of burdens and the kind of demands that exists around us. But guess what? When you think of the punishment of the period of lack, you will not risk not saving or investing. And that, I believe, is going to help you. So I hope this has added value to you today. This is Diary of a Coach. This was episode 294, and the topic was from surplus to lack. So this is the week of imagination. Imagine that you are in surplus. Imagine that you're saving as much as you can. You're saving in PiggyVest. You're saving in a fixed account. You're saving in your account that you don't have withdrawal instruments. You're saving up to in the money market. You're investing in the money market. You're investing in real estate. You're investing in technology. You're investing in crypto. You're investing in foreign stocks. Foreign stocks denominated in USD. It's very favorable. Foreign stocks, you're investing. Think on these things and imagine, and you will see yourself flourishing and prospering. This is very, very important to take note of. This is when I will now announce the business of the week. Woo! This is where I should play the timbre and cymbal and timbre. The business of the week is Dove Talks. Dove Talks is a platform organized and convened by Do-Oyum Nchiaga Safsa, and is debuting on the 1st of February. So this coming Saturday, there will be a platform for everyone. It's called Do Talks. Have you seen Red Table Talk before, convened by Jada Smith? It's something like that. So Do Talks is a platform convened by Do-Oyum Nchiaga Safsa, and is debuting on the 1st. So this coming Saturday, Do-Oyum is going to be talking about how to unburden your mind and how to create a happy state irrespective of what is happening to you. She's had, I tell you, when you sit with Do-Oyum, you hear stories that are emotional, touching, personal stories. She's had stories in her 48 years. She's going 48 now. Her 48 years of life, stories of abundance and lack, stories of abuse and insult, stories of assault, stories of domestic violence, stories of financial growth and lack, stories of professional growth, stories of working in the private sector and working in the public sector. I've heard so many portions of her story, and it's worth hearing. Yesterday I kept telling her, you must do this Doe Talk. You must do this Doe Talk because it is so deep and impactful. So it is absolutely available. For you to participate, you need to reach out to her immediately. Call the number 0809 482 44750. I'll take it again, 0809 482 44750 to register and participate. And she's online right now, so she's going to tell us, she's going to write in the comment section other details of participating in Doe Talks. She's going to tell you the venue, she's going to tell you the fee, she's going to tell you the time. But this is an environment, especially if you're a young person, I honestly think that you need to be in this session. If you are within your 30s and your 40s, I honestly think that you should be in this session because it's going to add so much value to you. Raw wisdom. She's a fountain of wisdom. She's a gold mine. I tell you from experience. I hear things from her and I'm like, what? Person go through this kind of thing. She's still this liberal. She's still this happy. She's still this kind. She's still this sane. She's still this social. Some people go through what she's gone through and they shut down. Some people go through what she's gone through and you know what? They just say that this life, forget it. It's not worth it. But this woman has stood her grounds and she has flourished in the midst of the thorns. So she's a seed that is planted in thorns that has yet germinated and flourished in the thorns. It's an experience you want to learn how to cope with. So she said that she has created a term called emotional insulation, and she wants to talk about it. So this is happening this Saturday, 1st of February. Call that number, reach out, and you'll be registered immediately. I wish you all the best because Doe Talks is a place where you unburden and heal. If you want to heal, register for Doe Talks today, and you will not regret it. This is Diary of a Coach. Thank you so much for signing up with me today. If you've not pre-ordered my book based on logistics, what are you waiting for? Yesterday, someone from the the guy is in the US, in Texas. Someone from the US pre-ordered 4 copies of Based on Logistics. I'm so proud. So guys from abroad, are pre-ordering my books. I don't know why you shouldn't pre-order. You shouldn't be an exception. So pre-order Based on Logistics today is only 3,000 Naira. Ask me for payment details and you have it. And yeah, it's going to be a beautiful week. So yes, this is the week of imagination and creativity. Think good things. Imagine good. Imagine noble. Imagine pure. Imagine love. Imagine everything. I love you so much. I love you so much. Don't forget, and have a beautiful week. Take care of yourself. Bye.